I am expecting that the AI bubble is starting to come down to an end. Now, I don't want to just say something without putting credibility behind it. So let's talk about the credibility here, because I'm making a pretty big claim here. I am thinking that this AI bubble may start to burst. Now, please don't throw me into the category of, oh, this guy hates AI, this guy hates artificial intelligence. Guys, I think NVDA is an amazing company. I think SMCI is an amazing company. ARM, I think MSFT. We're seeing all these companies grow and get tons of revenue. But at the same time, can we all admit that they're slightly overbought? Can we all admit that if we take a look over on SMCI over on a weekly time frame, that this is probably not a natural chart setup? Can we all admit that if we go over and take a look over on NVDA, that is not really a natural chart setup going straight on up for the past year straight? These are things that we want to be aware of. So the hottest plays out there in the AI world are going to be MSTR. MSTR, does this look like a natural chart pattern? Definitely doesn't look like it to me. We have SMCI. Does this look like a natural chart pattern? Over on SMCI, doesn't look like it to me. Does NVDA look like a natural chart pattern? Definitely doesn't look like it to me. Does ARM have a natural chart pattern? Definitely doesn't look like to me. The RSI is going to be right here. Anything that is over the price of 70 is considered overbought. NVDA right now has an 84. Now, when we say overbought, we mean that it is too high on up. Just like if I said if it's oversold, it means it's a good company that people are just undervaluing and it's a great time to get in. If you're saying it's overbought, it's a very great company, yes, but it's maybe getting too much hype. Sometimes investor hype, sometimes social media hype, sometimes media marketing hype gets investors jumping in on plays too high and pushing these plays up maybe a little bit more than what they're actually worth. So we can see NVDA 84 on the RSI. That's showing that this play is extremely overbought. SMCI a 92 on the RSI. That is absolutely insane. Let's go over to MSTR right here. MSTR a 78 on the RSI. Let's go over to AMD at this moment. AMD a 72 as well on the RSI. So you're telling me every single AI play that I've gone over, every single one of them is considered overbought? Well, let's play the other side of this. You could say, well, Deck, they've been overbought for the last few months. So it's almost like, hey, if they're overbought in the last few months, if I did puts last month or if I did puts a month before that, I would have ended up losing. And you are correct with that. And I have to give you the benefit of the doubt that's saying, hey, NVDA has been overbought for a while. This has been a stock that has been going up higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. So even if you did do puts, well, guess what? You definitely saw that we went higher and higher, but there are opportunities to be able to make some money here. If you guys take a look over on NVDA and we line this up very nicely, you could see we are overbought right here in this region. And then what did happen? We did get this very solid pullback. And then we were overbought right here in this region. And then guess what happened? We did get a very solid pullback. And now with NVDA just shy of that $1,000 level, and with NVDA forming this upper shadow, and with NVDA still considered overbought with an 84 on the RSI, there is a lot of opportunity to be able to fall back on down. So a couple things I need to add. NVDA overbought. NVDA also just shy of $1,000. Now, if you do not know, psychological numbers play a major factor in understanding what's going to be happening in the upcoming future. Just like a stock may go from 99 cents, hit $1 and get rejected, a stock may go from $9.99 to $10 and get rejected, a stock may go from $99, hit $100 and get rejected. These are kind of like the next levels up. They're very tough psychologically for investors to push them over. In reality, it's only $1, it's only a penny, it's only that one little spurt to the next level, but it's where every investor seems to always take profits. It's where every investor gets extremely nervous. So you can see what happened on NVDA. We came up just shy of 1,000 and we started getting a sell-off. You guys can also see this happen over on SMCI, where SMCI actually broke 1,000, then started getting a little bit of a sell-off. So this does happen a lot, where we see plays come up to psychological strong numbers and then start getting reversals. Now we also can see when we have upper shadows. When we have an upper shadow, it usually indicates that we are going to be having some sort of reversal in the near future. An upper shadow is going to be the long wick. The wick, it is going to show that buyers pushed up to a certain price, but there wasn't enough buyers to hold it at that certain price. So when we spike on it, we form an upper shadow, we start seeing a reversal back on down. And I can guarantee on a lot of the plays that we look at, we're going to be able to see upper shadows at where the market was decided to turn. So let's just take a look over on the S&P 500 to begin with. Is it weird that at the very tippity top of today, that is where the S&P 500 started dropping on down when we had this upper shadow form? Let's put that on a larger scale, not a 5-minute time frame, but let's take that over on a monthly time frame. And when we take a look over on NVDA here, can you guys not see that that's a big upper wick? Now the big thing is, traders, we have to finish this month with this big upper wick. So if we finish this month in a big upper wick, well, obviously we still have an entire 2 weeks left. That would be the confirmation that we need. You know, sometimes we see these upper wicks and we say, okay, it's time to do a put contract. I mean, NVDA still has 2 weeks to basically battle in this candle because this is a monthly chart. But it's very cool to take a look at, you know, S&P 500 and be able to ask yourself, okay, hey, you know, where was there, you know, reversals? Where was there pops back on up? And just like we talk about upper wicks, we can also be talking about lower wicks. Lower wicks. You guys see how there's a nice bottom right here? That led to a reversal to the upside. Does anyone see how there's a nice bottom right here? This lower wick, that indicates an upper reversal to the upside. You can see there's an upper wick right here. That leads to a drop. Here's an upper wick. Next 2 months are down. So the wicks are going to be huge for us. Give us great ideas. Give us great understanding. Give us great paths of what we want to be doing next. So am I saying go ahead and jump in on NVDA, SMCI, MSTR, ARMS, AMD, all on the put side right now? The answer is no. I'm not saying that do it right now. But if we start going into April and we do have NVDA on a huge upper shadow right here, I would say I do think we are going to fall. And if I'm taking a look over on SMCI and I see a huge upper shadow as well, I would say get ready for this market to start fading and falling back on down. I definitely think the AI bubble after the last 11 months could easily start turning and start dropping. Another big factor that I've been keeping my eyes peeled on is we are cracking that 13 EMA mark. The 13 EMA is one of the best ways to know if a stock is considered bullish or if a stock is considered bearish. And we can see at this time, when we take a look over on SMCI, you can realize that as long as we hold above this green line, we are considered bullish. It's one of the best ways to jump into a play and know and feel confident that you are going to be winning. Now, the opposite side is if you're underneath the 13 EMA, that's a great sign to know that you could do a put contract until it crosses back on over. Let's go ahead and take a look over on NVDA. NVDA in a little bit of a wedge pattern, beautiful, slightly above its 13 EMA. So do I got to give it to the bulls or to the bears? I'm still giving it to the bulls right now until the price of 861 starts cracking. I know I'm overbought, but I am still bullish on that 13 EMA. We got an upper shadow at this time on the monthly chart showing me that there is weakness, but the last support line of 870 is still holding on up. Let me take a look over on SMCI. SMCI overbought. We know that's over a 90 on the RSI, big upper shadow on the monthly chart, 13 EMA starting to go from bullish, starting to switch over to bearishness. As long as we stay underneath the price of 1,050, we might start seeing a little bit more sellers start moving on in. MSTR, this is another place starting to get a pullback. Notice how it's bouncing right along the 13 EMA. You could see how these plays definitely start getting their bounces. It holds up as a support line once you come on up towards this 13 EMA line. Look how perfect it is that it bounced perfectly right off that 13 EMA, bounced perfectly right off that 13 EMA. This is an area psychologically that traders use to be able to say, okay, I know we can enter here. This holds up as support. So this is what I'm saying. Do not enter puts just yet on the AI bubble. AI, let's be realistic. We know it could easily turn and fade in the upcoming months. One of the best sayings in the stock market is sell in May and go away. May historically is one of the worst months of the year. Same exact thing with the end of August and into early September, one of the worst times of the year. But we usually hear sell in May and go away. If I start seeing that after this month and I switch on over towards my monthly time frame and I do see that NVDA has this upper shadow and I see that SMCI has this upper shadow and I see that they have confirmed the upper shadows and they're still overbought and now they're cracking the 13 EMAs, yes, I would feel very confident that the market is starting to turn. Yes, I would feel very confident that the AI bubble may start bursting a little bit. Now, this is one thing that I know a lot of traders are probably going to take out of context right away. They're saying, oh, Deck thinks that the AI bubble is going to burst as in it's coming crashing all the way back on down. No, I think artificial intelligence is here to stay. I think artificial intelligence is going to be here and people are going to be buying it over and over and over and over and over again for the years to come. All I'm saying is a healthy, natural pullback is probably going to be happening as we get into April and as we get into May. The reason why I say that is because these chart setups are not normal and it is impossible for them to be able to hold on up. Whenever we take a look at a penny stock, we see this type of move. We see stocks that go straight on up and then guess what happens? They come straight on down. So when I say the AI bubble's bursting, doesn't mean we're going to zero. It means we're going to have a couple months of red as things normalize, as we find some sort of equilibrium equilibrium. That's what I want to see in this market. Get ready for the next 2 months. I am going to be watching for this AI move. I'm not in on any puts yet, but I am getting ready if these things develop. So stay smart, stay ready, and as always, I'm going to be trading these live every single day on tradecaster.com. Baby, oh baby, the #1 trading community in the world. So make sure you guys are here every day over on Tradecaster, getting ready to crush it and getting ready to make this big time money.